Right now, the American intelligence community deeply concerned about the massive hack of Sony Pictures. Fox News has learned that hack led to threats of violence and the pulling of major motion picture The Interview. Of course, that depicted the assassination of North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un. The FBI now says that North Korea was in fact behind that hack, one of the worst to ever target a company in the United States. Let's bring in John Lucich. He's Network Security Group President and a cybersecurity analyst. We have now seen that a foreign regime can hugely affect a company here in the United States. How sophisticated was this attack? It
was one of the most sophisticated, but what differentiates this is it was done in retaliation to airing a movie. You know, we've had movies before about presidents, United States presidents.
Okay, so what? So what? Forget about the movie for a second. Right. What this illustrates, though, is that this isn't a story about entertainment. This is a story about the sensitivity of our information and how easily another country, an enemy country, if you will, can get access to it.
Absolutely, because we have connections to us. One of the things that probably most likely brought this into the Sony network was people clicking on things. Malware are programs, either you get them through websites or through email, and they're going to come in, you click on it, you think it's doing one thing, it's a Trojan. It's actually doing something else, loading it in the background. 485,000 people worldwide have been hit with the crypto wall virus. Just by a click, you can destroy a company.
But it sounds like you're explaining a virus that so many of us have had on our own. Just a simple one of clicking. Is that how they got into Sony systems?
Yes, that's most likely how they got in. That's the one way you can get in because everybody's locked down with firewalls, intrusion detection systems. Most companies out there are doing the responsible thing. It's the irresponsible activity of sometimes our employees that gets that threat right through the firewall because we clicked on it in the email.
All right. Well, a company is never going to be able to completely protect against that because you have to have access to the Internet. So how do they protect themselves?
Well, there's a lot of different ways, including setting permissions on the local desktop, making sure when administrators log. Okay.
In English,
right.
Briefly, yeah.
There are permissions that allow an individual, either at the administrative level or as a user level, they have to be locked down at the user level. Even administrators, when they're not performing administrative tasks, should have a regular login account that only gives them certain permissions. So if they click on something, it's not going to go throughout the entire network.
So it sounds like you're describing a process by which we, as just workers in corporate America or even at home, will have to go through a lot more red tape to get to what we need.
There's absolutely no doubt about it. But in this society, in this environment right now, it's totally necessary. And it's not just one or two things. You need to take a look at the whole picture. I would love to sit down with Sony people and actually go through their network because when it comes down to it, it's network design. It's not throwing firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and virus at it. It's how we implement those devices into our network, the design behind it.
How does a company even know if their firewalls are sufficient, if they can block out North Korea or another nation that has endless resources to try to attack companies?
Most firewalls are great firewalls, but you and me, the network administrators, are the ones who configure it. If we don't watch what we're doing, we create the vulnerability. It's like putting a door in with a lock on it, but then leaving that door unlocked. They open up these ports to deal with vendors, and we let vendors dictate our policy, and we open up a vulnerability through our firewall that allows hackers to thwart that. It's something that needs to be addressed, and Sony needs to take a little better look at what they're doing.
You know, I don't know how we continue, just American business as we know it today, but protect ourselves against it at the same time. John Lucich, we have to leave it there. Thanks a lot for coming in. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you.
All right.